Hey Mindspo fam, and welcome back to Mindspo TV, your online destination for all things mindset, motivation, inspiration, and of course, meditation. Today's another Ask Questions day today, and I've got a question from one of my Mindspo members who's asked, "Hey Rochelle, how can I deal with a lack of motivation, specifically for my schoolwork? Even though there's a deadline and some consequences for not doing it, I still can't find the motivation to do it until the very last minute. And I know in the long run, it's not going to do me any good. Can you help?" I gotta admit, when I read this question, I got a little stuck because it took me back to my own schooling days. And I remember having the exact same problem. Now, while I didn't have a fix for my motivation back then, I definitely can say that I have developed some tricks that have helped me since, and I'm gonna share them with you in this video. My first tip is to commit to working and being productive, but only for around 20 minutes at a time. Now, if you've got what seems like a mountain of work in front of you when it comes to schoolwork or studies or work in general, then I can tell that your motivation is probably at an all-time low. And the idea of sitting through it for more than 20 minutes can be extremely unexciting. So just don't do it to yourself. Take it slow and just commit to doing 20 minutes at a time. Now, the chances are you'll get into a bit of a flow within this 20 minutes and you will actually do overtime and do more than you thought that you would. Now, I often do this approach whenever I have to do something that has to do with numbers within my business. I just attack the project in mini bursts of commitment because let's be real, I'm not ever going to sit down and do more than an hour of a task that I absolutely hate, and your girl Rochelle hates numbers. My second tip is to incentivize yourself with something that motivates you. Now, if you're lacking motivation for a task, then flip the situation on its head and find something that does motivate you and use that as the carrot dangling in front of you to make sure you get the thing that you're unmotivated to do done. Now, I've actually done this exact same method when it comes to numbers. I use watching my favorite YouTube vloggers as the motivation. And I tell myself, if I get this pile of accounts done, then I'm gonna reward myself with watching some YouTube. Now, you can actually apply tip 1 on top of tip 2 here, especially if you're someone that loves watching YouTube videos and you're doing this for at-home study, because this won't work at work. Now, simply commit yourself to 20 minutes of work at a time and reward yourself by watching 10 minutes of your favorite vlogger. If the work is gonna take you around 2 hours, then give yourself 3 hours. And within that time, you would have done 2 hours of concentrated work and around 1 hour of YouTube, which is a pretty sweet deal if you ask me. And if you subscribe to Mindspo TV, then you can use our videos as your study break and you can get motivated and inspired at the same time. My third tip is to get yourself an accountability buddy. Now, when it comes to study and school, chances are you're not alone when it comes to a lack of motivation. So why sit at home alone and do things solo when you can call up a friend and make yourself a study day? Spend the whole entire day working together, alternating between getting shit done and actually enjoying each other's company. Just make sure that you make a deal with each other that you will actually get shit done. Otherwise, this little tip is pointless. My fourth tip is to look at the bigger picture. Now, when it comes to school, I know this one's a pretty hard one to do. If I was to tell 15-year-old Rochelle to look at the bigger picture while she was doing her algebra, I'm pretty sure she would have told me to get lost. But it honestly does help. When it comes to school, study, uni, and even work tasks that we don't enjoy, we have to remember that these are part of life and we need to look beyond the things that we don't like so much and know that they are all part of the journey. If anything, while you might hate what you're doing right now, you'll probably look back at these exact times in the future as a beautiful contrast. My fifth and final tip is to practice being grateful. Now, I actually did this a bunch when I was back in school and I was told by other people to practice gratitude, and it really did help. Feeling gratitude for the fact that you have access to an education or a paying job or whatever it is that you're trying to get through is a really great way to stop feeling sorry for yourself and actually embrace the situation. When it comes to something like school, you're incredibly lucky to go and have an education. There are millions of children in the world that will never get the same opportunity. So use that gratitude to motivate you to do the best with the blessings that you've been given. If not for yourself, then for the ones that wish they had the same opportunities as you do. I hope those tips for motivation have inspired you to stop pushing your workload to the side and actually start taking action. Remember, the sooner you do the work, the sooner it will be over. I'm sending you so much love and light. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you've liked it. And if you have any study tips of your own, be sure to put them down in the description box so we can all get motivated together. And I'll see you in the next one.